She smiled again, but she didn't mean it. I think she knew she had to calm the turbulence she had brought with her from Mexico to Colombia. She decided to take back her words. No, big silver because of your hair and the stud above your eyebrow. I'm just a drifter, he said. I drift about. She paid her bill and asked him to pick up the book he had jolted to the floor, which meant he had to bend down and reach under the table, dragging it towards him with his foot. It took a while, and when he surfaced with the book in his hand, she was neither grateful nor discourteous. She just said, "Thanks." While the waitress collected plates heaped with crab claws and fish bones, I was reminded of the Oscar Wilde quote, "Be yourself, everyone else is already taken." That was not quite true for her. She had to make a bid for a self that possessed freedoms the big silver took for granted. After all, he had no trouble being himself. You talk a lot, don't you? To speak our life as we feel it is a freedom we mostly choose not to take. But it seemed to me that the words she wanted to say were lively inside her, mysterious to herself as much as anyone else. Later, when I was writing on my hotel balcony, I thought about how she had invited the drifting big silver to read between the lines of her undisclosed hurt. She could have stopped the story by describing the wonder of all she had seen in the deep, calm sea before the storm. That would have been a happy ending, but she did not stop there. She was asking him, and herself, a question. Do you think I was abandoned by that person on the boat? The big silver was the wrong reader for her story, but I thought, on balance, that she might be the right reader for mine. Chapter 2. The Tempest. Everything was calm. The sun was shining. I was swimming in the deep. And then, when I surfaced 20 years later, I discovered there was a storm, a whirlpool, a blasting gale lifting the waves over my head. At first, I wasn't sure I'd make it back to the boat. And then I realized I didn't want to make it back to the boat. Chaos is supposed to be what we most fear, but I have come to believe it might be what we most want. If we don't believe in the future we are planning, the house we are mortgaged to, the person who sleeps by our side, it is possible that a tempest, long lurking in the clouds, might bring us closer to how we want to be in the world. Life falls apart. We try to get a grip and hold it together. And then we realize we don't want to hold it together. When I was around 50 and my life was supposed to be slowing down, becoming more stable and predictable, life became faster, unstable, unpredictable. My marriage was the boat, and I knew that if I swam back to it, I would drown. It is also the ghost that will always haunt my life. I will never stop grieving for my long-held wish for enduring love that does not reduce its major players to something less than they are. I am not sure I have often witnessed love that achieves all of these things, so perhaps this ideal is fated to be a phantom. What sort of questions does this phantom ask of me? It asks political questions, for sure, but it is not a politician. When I was traveling in Brazil, I saw a brightly colored caterpillar as thick as my thumb. It looked as if it had been designed by Mondrian, its body marked with symmetrical squares of blue, red, and yellow. I couldn't believe my eyes. Most peculiar of all, it appeared to have two vibrant red heads, one on either end of its body. I stared at it over and over again to check if this could possibly be true. Perhaps the sun had gone to my head, or I was hallucinating from the smoky black tea that I sipped every day while I watched children play soccer in the square. It was possible, as I discovered later, that the caterpillar